being able to find my own purpose, to find my sweet spot, things I really like to do, I'm getting emotional about or motivated or really like, yeah, this is what I want. It's kind of challenging to find this, but once you have it, it's easy then to get the right information, the right learning, the right input to build up on your passion.
A warm welcome to Priska Burkard. Priska, thanks a lot for taking the time for this short interview for Dell for All. Happy to have you here on screen. And before I introduce you, I would actually like to give you the floor because I think you can do that much better than me. So glad to have you here, and please tell us a bit about yourself and about your professional background.
Sure, great. Thank you very much for inviting me to this. It's a pleasure and an honor. A little bit about myself. My background is actually in the tech industry as well. Also, I have started as medical laboratory assistant. So by training, I'm a medical laboratory assistant, but the job got a little bit boring after a while. So I decided to emerge into the tech industry and started as an application engineer about 20 years ago. So I was actually a programmer once. And then, I was for a very long time in the finance industry, but always within the tech industry or tech departments. I worked as project manager, business analyst, product manager. And then about 5 years ago, I decided to start my own business, and I left the finance industry and started my own company, which is called Skillsfinder. We talk a little bit about this later as well. And so I became from a medical laboratory assistant, an application engineer, to now a community recruiter.
Very interesting. And in addition to that, you're also the CEO of TechFace, right? That's also in the background of your background. Could you also tell us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. So with TechFace, we want to enable to bring more women into the tech industry by bridging the gap between female tech communities and their members and companies. And with this, we offer different kind of opportunities for women to find a purposeful career in the tech industry. So we have different kind of events. We introduce companies based on a culture view. We have programs as well where attendees are able to learn programming and then attend an internship to really apply their skills. And we also organize one of the biggest conferences in Switzerland for diversity in tech.
Very impressive, very interesting. You're not only the CEO and co-founder of TechFace, but also of the startup Skillsfinder, as you already mentioned. Could you tell us a bit more about Skillsfinder and the vision and objectives?
Yeah, it's actually Skillsfinder was the original idea, and what we experienced in our daily business life is that it's getting really hard to find the right talents or the people with the right talents, with the right skills, with the right expertise to work on different kind of projects. So the idea of Skillsfinder is to allow people to present themselves based on skills and expertise, and companies to find matching talent based on skills and expertise. So it's not in a way of looking back what they have done in the past, which usually a CV does, but having the opportunity to understand what is someone capable of based on the experience and skills they have learned. Skills are nowadays something which is, in my opinion, much more important than any kind of hard skills. You can learn anything, especially I experienced this in programming. It's kind of like learning a language, but having the right attitude and the right soft skills to go through such learning experiences, or even to be able to bring a project to life, is much more important than the hard skills. And this is why we decided we want to bring this idea more into this space and build a platform where people can search for soft skills and expertise as well. And candidates can offer this based on that. The focus is also on validating these skills. So we want to make sure that once someone says they have experience and skills, for example, negotiation skills, that there is also proof of what they have done. And since nowadays, when you apply for a job, every company is doing this validation. We are asking ourselves, why is it necessary that everybody does it? When everybody does the same, we can do it just once and everybody can have access to this kind of information. So this is the basic thought of Skillsfinder, which we are now in the process of building, and we will roll it out first, of course, for women in the tech industry.
This is very fascinating. Could you explain us a bit more how you do this validation of skills in Skillsfinder?
It's AI-based. How do you say? It's AI-based. It's an algorithmic behind the validation. And what we do, we take the CVs of the candidates, what they say about themselves, how they see themselves, and we take lots of information they provide us, either from certification, from reference letter as well, and we do the matching between what they have received from the outside to what they say about themselves. And with this, we can create this profile and even expose these skills. It also means that we maybe give them more skills than they would give themselves. Especially with women, this is an issue that women always feel like, oh no, I'm not good enough. I can't say that I'm having this or these kind of skills. But if you have to prove from the outside, be it by a reference letter or certificate, we can basically help them to really say, no, you do have these skills and you should be proud of it and you should expose it to different kind of job opportunities.
That's super interesting. Another question regarding this, also just popping up, not in our list, but do you work, there are some certification authorities as well, right? So there's authorities working on digital credentials and so forth. Are you kind of collaborating with them too, or how is that?
Not yet, because we're focusing first on the basic platform where you can create your profile and upload your documentation. But we do keep track of what's happening around us. We also see there are other companies starting to provide certification on the blockchain. I know, for example, HSK is working on that. There is MIT in the US who's already giving a certificate on the blockchain, which would be really important for us, because this is like the safest way to be sure that is not a fake certificate. It's a real certificate, which we need to be able to really prove the validation works as well. So we keep track on that, and it is, of course, on our list that we will collaborate with all these kind of services. They are available or are also in the process.
Very interesting. We have some people in our Delft for All network working on that, so I will make sure to get you in touch with them.
What's important for us is to understand that still human being is in the center, and we are building with emerging technologies to support the human being and not to replace anything. And I think this is often misunderstood, that technologies are replacing us in some sort, but I personally have seen that it's not working. So especially in the recruiting area, where they try to build with artificial intelligence matching algorithm to find the best person for a job, that does not work. Because there are certain things you can match or you can validate, but at the end of the day, if you go and work for a company, there is a personal match as well, what we call purpose culture match. And our goal is using emerging technologies to enable companies focusing on the purpose culture match at the end of the day.
Very interesting. Another important role in Skillsfinder and also TechFace is learning, right? Could you maybe go a bit more into detail on regarding the question, which role does learning or digital enhanced learning more particularly play in these two firms of yours?
Yeah. There are two aspects of it. First of all, specifically in the tech area, there's so many changes happening and they're really fast. There are new languages, programming languages popping up in very short time. And so it's quite important for us to be able to learn quickly. And we need to regard this as well when we're talking about helping women getting into the tech industry or doing all this validation and matching. We need to be able to learn quick new things that are on the market. And there is, of course, it's quite necessary to have all this access to enhanced digital learning. On the other hand, is also the distance we have. So For example, enhanced digital learning allows someone who is sitting far away to learn a certain topic, or to, like, when we take, for example, virtual reality, VR glasses, it is possible to learn something which is right now maybe here sitting in Switzerland, but the person who needs to learn about it is sitting somewhere else in the world. And that makes it very attractive to everyone to be able to learn more and increasing their soft skills, their hard skills, and become a talent, a sought after talent in the market, which is then important in their country as well, to be able to provide these knowledge, expertise, and skills as well.
Yeah. Super interesting. So in addition to this challenge, let's say that you have to learn quickly, you have to learn fast, are there any other challenges you in TechFace or Skillsfinder experience related to digital enhanced learning?
I think there's too much. There's so much we could learn, and it's very hard to find for us, for our members, for our candidates, to find out what is it that I really want to learn. Where do I want to specialize myself? Because you can't do everything at once. And I guess this is always a challenge, and it's not only for us a challenge, it's a challenge for everyone who is in the world out there. And being able to find my own purpose, to find my sweet spot, things I really like to do, I'm getting emotional about or motivated or really like, yeah, this is what I want. It's kind of challenging to find this, but once you have it, it's easy then to get the right information, the right learning, the right input to build up on your passion.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. We've almost reached the end of the interview. I want to ask you one last question, which is maybe also a bit challenging, but still, talking about emerging technologies, we just mentioned already artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and so forth. To what extent do you think do these technologies change the way we learn and also acquire skills and talents in the next 5 to 10 years?
It will enable more people to learn, people who haven't had the opportunity to learn, because it was just the distance, as I mentioned before, for example, or it was too expensive to get the books. Now we don't need books, everything is on the internet, and it just will enable more people to learn and being able to use or to build up on their skills and expertise. And I think this is what's going to happen over the next couple of years. It will be more important, and that learning will be more understood as part of our lives, that we do it every single day, we do it throughout the whole life, we never stop learning, we will always be learning. It's not like when I remember, like, my parents, they learned something, they started working and they did this for the rest of their life, but it will be more an integral part of our lives. So something,
definitely. Thank you very much. Is there anything you wish to tell the Dell4All community at the end of this interview?
Just keep learning, enjoy learning. It's something that's not a must or should not be seen as a must, because it's something that could be very enriching, very inspiring as well, and just be open to anything you can learn.